Good day, Philippines! My name is Khent and Alfanta, reporting live. Today, we will unravel the 1872 Cavite Mutiny and discover what ignited the set uprising.
Thank you for that, Miss Ken. Now let's talk about the two major events that happened in 1872. First was the 1872 Cavite Mutiny and the other was the martyrdom of three martyr priests in the persons of Father Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora, are also known as the Gomborza. Cavite Mutiny happened on January 20, 1872, and brief uprising of 200 Filipino troops and workers at the arsenal of Fort San Felipe, Cavite, which became the excuse for Spanish oppression and embryonic Philippine nationalist movement. The eyes of the Filipino mirrors oppression and maltreatment in the Spanish colonization era. Miss Danica, please explain further.
About 200 men, led by Sergeant Lamadrid, rose in arms and assassinated the commanding officer and Spanish officers in sight. It was then they realized that they need to stand for the country and abuse among our kababayans should stop. Expecting help from the armies, but the Filipinos were very disappointed. The Spanish government in Manila heard the news and sent the troops under General Felipe Genoves to recover the fort. The regiment quelled the besieged mutiny, killed many mutineers including Sergeant Fernando Lamadrid, and sentenced others to death or forced labor, while others are sent to different parts of Mindanao to be exiled. The Filipinos unfortunately did not win against the Spaniards. Consequently, Governor-General Rafael Izquierdo y Gutierrez used the mutiny to implicate the Gomburza and other notable Filipino intellectuals for their liberal leanings. Governor-General Izquierdo's accusation that Father Mariano Gomez, Father Jose Burgos, and Father Jacinto Zamora, or known as Gomburza, instigated the said mutiny and afterward ordered the execution of the three secular priests. The mutiny was quickly crushed, but the Spanish regime under the reactionary Governor Rafael D. Izquierdo magnified the incident and used it as an excuse to clamp down on the Filipinos who had been calling for governmental reform.
In continuation in the Cavite Mutiny's case, Governor-General Izquierdo's accusation that Father Mariano Gomez and Father Jose Gordos, Jacinto Zamora, are also known as the Gomburza, instigate the said mutiny and afterward order the execution of the three secular priests.
How unfortunate for our beloved kababayans. Now let's hear from Mr. Teofilo. We've heard the Filipino perspective. Now let's move on to listen to the other side of the story.
So, good morning, Bagong Bayan. I'm Teofilo Estoce. In the Spanish perspective, the mutiny was moved for revolution and overthrowing the government. Many prominent Filipinos are accused of being supporters of the mutiny. Priests were labeled as enemy of Spain after being accused of supporting the rebels. The Gomborza are well-known figures for the secularization movement which wanted to reduce the friars' powers, making them the prime target for the Spanish with very little evidence to support the accusation. They incriminate the Gomborza as the mastermind of mutiny and was found guilty.
Thank you for the three of you. Now we'll learn a little from our rich history. Now let's move on to our next topic. We are going to tackle about the first mass in our country, the Philippines. We have Miss Janmaica and Mr. Ronald. They will explain further.
March 31, 1521 was the first Mass in the Philippines. The Mass was led by Ferdinand Magellan and was conducted by Father Pedro de Valderrama. According to Antonio Pigafetta's journal, it was held on the shore of Limasawa in southern Leyte. The cross that was found believed as the evidence of the first Mass that was built by the people of Ferdinand Magellan by his command. On June 19, 1960, the Limasawa received recognition in Congress under the Republic Act No. 2733 as the national shrine. However, for the Botolano, the recognition was still debatable. They opposed the Republic Act No. 2733 due to some evidence that was found on their area. The 10 barangay boat that was found on their area in Masao River on 1976. The boat was believed as a transportation for worship use.
The National Historical Institute first took action on the Limasawa Butuan controversy in 1980, followed by the creation of 2 more panels in 1995 and 2008. Another panel, led by the prominent historian Reza B. Muharas, was formed in 2018 by now the National Historical Commission of the Philippines to further review the continued claims in favor of Butuan. The government has consistently concluded Limasawa as the site of the first recorded mass in the country